Well. Welcome to another video. Here, I'm explaining why range is good in emoji incremental. Let's start off. Here is your screen. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. There is your screen. And here is your range. For example, this is your range. Okay, say your range is 1/16 of the screen. That means to cover the entire screen, to get all the emojis on the screen, you'd have to take 16 actions. One here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all along here. So in total, range of 1/16 takes 16 actions. Got it? Okay. Now, let's take another range. This range is bigger. This is your range now. See, this range has a range that is 1/10 the size of you. That means it's going to take 10 actions to fully cover all the emojis on the screen. Okay, so let's just go over what the actions are. So, say this range one is moving from here, the mouse moves from here down to here. Okay, so now it collects all of the emojis in this section. Okay, and there's no emojis between, just pretend this area is nothing. Okay, so it moves from here to here. Now, obviously, it moves here, so now there's going to be emoji spawning here. Right. And that's just going to continue. So if you do 10 actions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, 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 whatever, it's going to collect all the emojis. And then, let's see what happens if we take the same movement from here to here, but now we have it as a 1/16 of the size. Okay? So we're going to take it, erase this one, and return back to our 1/16 of the size range. Okay? And it moves from here to here. Got it? Okay. Look at how much space here. Emoji. It's going to skip right over that emoji, which means in between these two movements, there's going to be emoji that can spawn here, and that's not going to get collected in time. Got it? Here's the thing. You can go, one movement, have one action taken every tick. So that's going to be Minecraft. So it's every 1/20th of a second. I don't know. It's probably 1/100th of a second or 1/20th of a second in emoji incremental. So that means this takes 1/20th of a second. So that means all in all, to take 10 actions. So let's just say a tick is 1/20th second. Okay, a tick is 1/20th of a second. You probably can't see it, but it's fine. Who cares? We'll go over this. Tick is 1/20th of a second. That means to do 16 actions, or 10 actions, do 10 actions. So we have 10 actions. That's going to take 1/2 a second. Okay? Now, this other range is 1/16 of the screen. So to get all the emoji on the screen, to make sure we don't have any spots that we miss, 16 actions is going to take, what, 8 out of 10? Or 4 out of 5? 4/5 of a second. You know what's half a second? 2.5 fifths. Here. It's going to take, I'm just going to put it as 8/10 of a second. Okay? And I'm just going to make these common denominator. So this is going to be 5/10 of a second. Okay? So 10 actions, it's going to take 5/10 of a second. 16 actions, it's going to take 8/10 of a second. These are two different ranges with different times to collect the entire screen. So say you wanted this 1 out of 16 range to get all of the screen in the same time as the 1 out of 10. Well, you would have to move the range only 10 times. But since it's only 1 out of 16, it's going to be skipping emojis like this. So it's not going to get the entire screen. It's physically impossible. So, I mean, obviously it's not exactly going to be 1/20th of a second. It's probably a lot less than that. But, it's probably like a 1 in 100. But for 10 actions, this is a bigger range. It's 1 in 10th. It's only going to take half a second to get the entire screen. This one is going to take 8/10 of a second, right? Okay, so now let's sum this up. So, say you start here, and you do your 10, 16 actions. So you go down, down, blah, 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 blah. So now you're ending here. Right? By the time you get all the way down here, all these emojis in the rest of the plane are going to have spawned back. Because, like I see, say it's 16 actions, it's been 8/10 of a second since you have gone back here. And obviously, there's going to be emoji that spawn there. They spawn really, really fast, especially with 200 emojis being spawned a second. That means there's, on average, going to be 10 spawning per tick. So that means every time you do an action here, on average, there's 10 others spawn here. That's at a rate of 200 emojis a second. And that's going to be 10 per tick. Now we don't know where that spawned. Now it could have spawned in the spot. It could spawn right here. So when it moves here, it auto collects it. Now, without accounting for that, I should say there's around, probably not going to happen the most often, but it's probably going to be around, I would say, 8 per tick. Okay. And that means that there's going to be 8 others spawned, right? And so that means by the time your range gets down here, all of this is going to be filled up by other emojis, right? And now you're going to have to recollect them, okay? So now your range comes back here. 1 tick. And we start over. Now, this builds up, okay? So, to, say there's 200 emojis on the screen, without an auto clicker, there's 200 emojis that can be visible on screen. Then you collect 200 with these 16 actions. Collect 200 in 8/10 of a second. With 10 actions, you collect them in half a second. Okay? Now, let's take that to get 400 emojis collected. Well, with 10 actions, it's just going to take 1 second. With 16 actions, it's going to take 16/10 or 1.6 seconds. to collect all 400. Now let's scale this up. How about you want to collect 1,000 emojis, right? It's going to be 2.5 seconds for our 10 actions. Now our 16 actions, well, that's going to be 4 seconds. So, if you want to collect 1,000 emojis, I did not spell that correctly. You want to collect 1,000 emojis. If you had one that's 1/16 of the size, that's going to take 4 seconds at a tick rate of 1/20th a second. But if we had one that's 1/10 of the size, it's only going to take 2.5 seconds. That's 1.5 seconds less for every 1,000 emojis collected. Now, on average, you're collecting you're collecting at least 12 million a day. So this is times 12,000. So 1.5 seconds times 12,000, which is 18,000 seconds. So, with one that's 1/16, the difference between 1/16 and 1/10 is 18,000 seconds to do 12 million emojis, which is the average per day, I would say. And so, that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you want range. Let me sum it up. So 1/16 range, 1/10 range, 1/20th tick speed. So that means one action in the game is every 1/20th of a second. So 20 actions per second. Okay? So that means to collect the entire screen, right, it's going to take 16 actions because it's 1/16. So it's going to have to take 16 actions to collect the entire screen. That's going to equal 16 over 20 seconds to collect one full screen. Now this 1 out of 10, it's only going to take 10 out of 20 because it only has to take 10 actions. Which means that this 1/10, which is bigger than the 1/16, it's counterintuitive, means that this 1/10 range is going to collect emojis faster by 6/20ths or 3/10ths, by 0.3 of a second. 0.3 of a second faster for every one full screen collected at a tick speed of 1/20th, which is why this is better than this. Bigger range is better.